What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. We all know about the Charlie Kirk assassination last week, right? Something that shocked the nation and still getting headlines from last week all the way up until this week. And another story that came out, that is just as big if you really pay attention to it, is the story of the Dallas Motel beheading, in which the guy you see over here, YoerdonisCobos-Martinez, a migrant from Cuba, killed his boss. The guy you see here, now it's a face with the name, which some of us have already seen this. His name is Chandra Nagamalia. He was 41 years old. This guy's only been in America himself since 2020. So, we've seen the video. We've seen the backlash of India talking trash on how violent America is. And I got to be honest, I can't disagree. America is violent. We've been talking about this for years on this channel. And, this guy right here wasn't deserving of what happened to him in front of his wife and child. Now, in all honesty, I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to show you in this video. Now, they're talking about, for the longest time, they didn't show who this guy was over here. Now they're showing you who he was, and they talk a little bit about him. I want you to pay attention to two things. First thing is, I want you to look at his Gofundme and how much money it raised. Second thing I want you to look at is, besides this being a horrific case, in India, they really are pushing this situation and this guy's story over there. So Charlie Kirk, in the video they said, Charlie Kirk overrid, in America, this story of Mr. Nagamalia over here. But in India, this guy right here is getting the Charlie Kirk treatment as far as martyr status, and people en masse are coming out in support of him. Take a look at this and we'll come back with commentary, because there's one more thing I want to talk about that nobody's talking about with this case. Check it out.
We have uncovered some new details regarding yesterday's beheading outside a motel in East Dallas. The suspect involved has been arrested. Here's a photograph. Been charged now with capital murder. But according to Dallas County jail records, he also has an immigration hold for allegedly being in the United States without authorization. We've also been able to obtain the arrest affidavit. Braceda Holguin has been going over the documents today, which lay out what led up to nothing short of a horrific murder.
According to the arrest affidavit, a witness told police there was a verbal altercation between the victim and the suspect. The document also states that the victim's son and wife saw part of the attack. Now, I do want to warn you, the details are disturbing, starting with that 911 call.
Suspect has a machete.
Wednesday morning, something nobody would have expected took place at the Downtown Suites Motel in East Dallas. A man tells us he witnessed a beheading.
Ma'am, this is not normal to happen.
According to the arrest affidavit, police obtained video which shows 37-year-old YoerdonisCobos-Martinez grab a machete and start stabbing 50-year-old Chandra Nagamalia multiple times. The victim is seen fleeing down the parking lot towards the front office where his wife and son were.
He chased him from 108 all the way to the office. The man was trying to get in the office to his family.
A witness who saw the entire thing says the wife and son attempted to stop the suspect, but he pushed them away and continued to violate the victim's remains.
I find it sick, disgusting. I'm speechless.
Kind of out of the norm and is mind-blowing.
The affidavit states Dallas Fire arrived first. They saw the suspect covered in blood with a machete in hand, and they were able to catch him down the road. Several sources tell me the victim was a manager at the motel and say the suspect did maintenance there.
I feel bad for his family because he got a wife and a son. They came out. They didn't know what to do. She was screaming and hollering, but I told her to get back in there because I didn't know if he was going to attack her too.
The suspect has been charged with capital murder, and according to Dallas County Jail records, he has an immigration hold for allegedly being in the U.S. without authorization. Records also show he's been arrested for auto theft in Florida and has indecency with a child and assault charges in Houston. In Dallas, Briseida Holguin, CBS News, Texas.
Names can feel distant, but faces remind us they belong to someone. Monday night, we're seeing the face of 50-year-old Chandra Nagamalia for the first time. Photos given to us by his family, who are grieving a man gruesomely killed in Dallas. Police say Nagamalia beheaded at this Dallas motel last week that he managed by a fellow employee, 37-year-old YoerdonisCobos-Martinez, after an argument unfolded over not using a broken washing machine. Cobos-Martinez, per guess, used a machete to attack Nagamalia. Nagamalia's funeral was held here in Dallas on Saturday, and not just here, but an ocean away in his home country of India. People are remembering him not for how he died, but for how he lived. Nagamalia's family telling us Monday he was raised in Bangalore, India, and came to America in 2020. He always dreamed of being in the hospitality business, and his passion was so strong that it inspired his son, Gaurav, to want the same future, they said. He had a smile that could light up a room, a heart that always put others before himself, and a spirit that encouraged young people to dream bigger. He should be remembered as a man who worked tirelessly, they said. The hardest part is learning to live with the emptiness. This crime has shocked many, even reaching the Resolute desk at the White House. President Trump sharing on Truth Social, underscoring that Cobos-Martinez is not an American citizen who came from Cuba and that he will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Court records show that Cobos-Martinez is under an immigration hold. Right now, a GoFundMe for Nagamalia has raised more than $350,000. But the worst part of all this, Nagamalia's family says his dream was to eventually go into business with his teenage son. That dream didn't leave with him, they say. It lives on in Gaurav. In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
Guys, you seen it. People in India really taking to this story and rallying in support of Mr. Nagamalia. Now, that GoFundMe, you seen it? Not even a week yet, $354,000. People are rallying behind this dude. And I'm more than sure that video I showed you where they was going off on India and all of that stuff, that sparked people to come out and support and giving to that GoFundMe. See, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of these GoFundMes, you look at them because I watch them all the time, you know, and I contribute to them. A lot of times with these GoFundMes, the story is what gets the donation, not the person. A lot of people get caught up in that. This guy has a hell of a story because just putting yourself in a position of him and seeing that video, just going back briefly to talk to you guys about it, some of you that haven't seen it, when I put the video up, this guy ran and was screaming like a child, in fear for his life in front of his wife and kid. He fell on the ground. The guy was trying to get at him. The wife kept getting in the way. This guy that you see up here, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Martinez, 37-year-old, could have stopped at any given time, but he was incessant on hurting this man. And I was saying to myself, you know, a simple argument, why would this turn into this where people were grabbing him and trying to stop him, and for 4.5 minutes before he could get to this guy and kill him and then take his head off and kick it down the road, you know, and then pick it up and run and throw it in the trash. That's a message. And it's something deeper than just that argument. I would agree, but I'm gonna tell you something. Reason why I brought all that up, that horrific stuff, is because when men have enough of something or something built up in them, whether it's the person they're attacking or they have a problem with is in front of them, sometimes others take the brunt of it. Now this guy right here been moving. He's a migrant. He been moving from place to place. California, he did some crazy stuff. Then he ran out here to Houston, did some wild stuff. Now he's in Dallas, migrating because he can't get himself straight because he's a maniac, right? Now watch this. Reason why I brought that up, supposedly this was over the use of a broken washing machine or something. Now this guy don't speak English, so he had to have a translator. So a translator was translating, and I'm more than sure the manager was adamant and going off about the situation. Now, I have Indian clients. Every culture is different. Sometimes when Indians talk to you, they be raising their voice, they be moving, like, you know what I'm saying? And they be getting like in your mix. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a situation of that, but I think honestly, this is just my opinion. I don't know. But I want you to hear me on this. I think he fired this guy, told him, "You're fired, get out." And that's what set him off. Because this guy went and grabbed the machete, ran and chased the man down and tried to do something to him. The only time, well, I ain't gonna say the only time, when you see that type of stuff where a man is incessantly trying to get at another man, I think a lot of times something was taken away from him. And I think in this case, it was his job. The guy was like, "Fuck off, get out." And I think it set him off. That brings me to this next point. And I want you to hear me on this. Look back. Just this year, we got this case where this guy was killed. Head cut off. Then we go back to the Michigan situation where you had the young lady, Yafini Muhammad, or whatever her name was. She went into McDonald's and stabbed her manager to death after being sent home multiple times. That's what I want to talk about. That's the main thing with this whole video I want to talk to you about, guys. There are a lot of people nowadays, like I told you yesterday, we dealing with a different type of human being or a different type of human mindset where it's no more accountability. And anything that's done as a reflect or a result of something somebody does, they act like they don't see it, and they look at the person as the one that did something to them and they didn't do anything. Lack of accountability in this country. A lot of people are hiring psychopaths or sociopaths, and they are turning on them when they do something at the job. Always somebody else's fault. And that's something that's naturally growing. And that's going to continue to grow, because you're looking at a lot of people now coming up now with the way they think and act. You can't get through to them. A lot of times you can't get them to do a job correctly, because no matter what you say or criticism, they look at it as it's negative. It's wild out here. How many times you guys been at a job and had a dude that was at the job, or just a chick, and act like they come into the job and act like they run the job, or the job, people work for them, and you can't tell them nothing. Then when they get fired, or they say they can fire, they threaten to hurt somebody, blow the place up, or do all kind of stuff. This has been building for a long time, but I think now these type of people are in workplaces, and it's hard to get them out. And when something does happen, where enough is enough with the employer or something, sometimes stuff happen. Look at the thing, all these different employees going and leaving and coming back and shooting places up because they got a problem with management or the way things are run, not to their specifications as an employee. It's wild. This guy been dead for a while. They just now showing his face after a week. Things are what they are, but I mean, it's a heinous crime. You know, when that Indian thing, they compared this, the young lady out there in Charlotte on a light rail that was stabbed in the throat by that mentally ill guy. You know what I'm saying? And the Charlie Kirk shooting, they were saying this one by far was the worst out of all three of them. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no difference in all three of them, because people tragically lost their lives in vicious ways that none of us would want to pick. If you lined all three of them up, those crimes up, and you told somebody you got to pick one of them to be your way out of here to the upper room, none of us would pick any of them. So, I mean, they're all bad, but this one right here, you know, they're making a big thing out of it. And the reason why this is really polarizing is somebody was willing to do savagery in front of family members that had nothing to do with it. And he couldn't be calmed down until he finished his ultimate goal in obliterating another human being. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Take care.